Triclone foundation in the shade Fairity. It is time for another full face featuring Haus Labs. We're going to go in with the shade 40 in the Triclone foundation. This is a fair neutral shade. I'm going to go in, I'm going to do a little bit of concealing along my jaw first, and then we'll start applying this. I'm going to take this foundation, once again, the Haus Labs Triclone foundation in 40 fair neutral. I'm going to put like a pump and a half-ish on the Sigma 3D HD Kabuki. I'm going to be taking this and doing some dabbing along the face. This foundation is a really beautiful medium buildable coverage. I really like it. I've worn it quite a few times. You saw that bottle was like half empty. And I really, really enjoy this foundation. I'm just going to go in and blend it in. This is what the foundation looks like with one layer. I'm going to go in and give myself a little bit of color back with the Glassy Ginger Color Fuse Blush Balm. I'm going to take this and we're going to use this almost like a cream bronzer. So I'm going to hit those higher points of the face. I like that this is a little bit of that like bronzer trend that you see right now. So we're going to do a little bit of this kind of, I'm going a little heavier handed because I know that this is fairly sheer, and then we'll conceal afterwards. So this is where we're going to be starting off. Is that too much? We'll make it work. We're going for like a softer complexion. I'm going to take this brush from XO Cosmetics, the 103 brush, and I'm just going to start tapping that out. Yeah, that'll be fine. Now I'll be going with the Triclone Skin Tech Concealer. This is the shade 1 Fair Neutral. I like to go a little more neutral on a lot of my complexion pieces because I do have a little bit of redness throughout my face and neck. So I like that neutral tones give me a little bit of brightness without it being too crazy. So we're going to go in, I'm going to hit under the eyes. Do a little along the cheekbone, through the center of the forehead, and then I do a little extra concealer on my nose because my nose tends to separate first. And I find that concealer tends to last a little easier on the sides of my nose than foundation. Then we'll do a little on the chin. So that's going to be kind of where we're highlighting with that concealer. Now that we've let it sit for a second, we're going to go in and start blending it out with our sponge. This concealer shade is very neutral and it is a little bit lighter than the foundation, which is great because I like to really highlight through the center of my face. So you'll see I'm going to go in and start blending that out. And then once it sits, it just gives this really great brightening effect. I go through the side of my nose to my under eye and then up along that cheekbone. It gives you a similar effect to that like 2016 concealer triangle without being as heavy because we're not utilizing as much concealer and we're hitting the highest points that need the brightening the most and then softening out those edges. See how that just like really brightened the center of the face? I love the way that this foundation looks on my skin as well. My skin does have a little bit of texture, especially through the jaw as I shave every day. And I find that this foundation just wears really beautifully. I'm really liking the way that all of these products are blending together because it's still giving us some good coverage, a little bit of kind of color correcting without looking crazy. So this is what it looks like with our foundation, our like bronzer and concealer blended out. We're going to go in and set with the Bio Blurring Loose Setting Powder. It has one of those little nets in there. So I am going to go in with my powder puff and then we're going to set the under eyes and then use a little bit to set the rest of the face. We're going to go in. I really like the texture of this powder. It's super finely milled, so a little is blending a long way. It's looking really smooth. I tend to use a lot of powder because I really like my makeup to stay in place, but even with using a ton of powder, it's looking really smooth under the eye. We're gonna go in and set the other eye as well. And such a little bit of powder went such a long way with that, and it looks so smooth. Now that we're set in place, it's going to be time to bronze. I have used this bronzer a good handful of times. You can see from the dirty pan. I do love how this applies. I'm going to be going in with a Sigma F12. This is a setting powder brush, but I do like the shape of this for a little more precision bronzing. So you can still get in those areas that you want your bronzer to be without it getting overwhelming. These powders are super pigmented, and I want this to be just a little bit of an extension of color from that glassy ginger blush balm we used earlier. I want to accentuate some of the bronzer, but I don't want to completely overwhelm that like blondie blushy aspect that we had. Now I don't have anything for brows from Haus Labs, so I'm gonna go do my brows and contour my nose, and we'll be right back. We're gonna do eye makeup. These are a couple of the Haus Labs Eye Library palette. I also have some of the high power pigment paint, so we're just gonna get started on some eye makeup. We're gonna see where it takes us. I'm gonna go finish the rest of the eye makeup and then we'll test out the mascara. We're gonna go in and try the mascara. I have not tried the mascara before. I'm really excited to see. I know it's like your standard like fiber bristle brush. I like that it gives you a little bit of that hourglass shape, so let's hope that it's gonna give us some good volume. I feel like it's giving us some good length. I feel like it's giving us a little good volume. I'm gonna finish up and pop on some lashes. Now that the eyes are done, we are going to highlight with Glassy Opal. This is the Bio Radiant Glassy Highlighting Balm. I'm gonna be taking this on my fingers and highlighting my typical high points that I would with any other cream highlighter. And I'm gonna use this as a base to our powder highlight. You can see it is giving us a little hydrated looking shine. It's not disrupting a ton of the makeup underneath. It gives us a little bit of that brightness back. Now we'll be going in with the Bio Radiant Gel Powder Highlighter in Peach Quartz on the cheek. Give us back just a little extra glow. I really like how those layered together. Whoa. This is the Le Monster Lip Crayon in Mocha Matte. I'm gonna use this almost like a lip liner. This has really beautiful color payoff. These are also extremely long wearing. I've worn these all day through work, and after 8, 9, 10 hours drinking coffee, eating lunch, it still gives you majority of that color payoff. Now that we have our lip liner on, I'm gonna go back in with the Color Fuse Glassy Balm Blush in Glassy Ginger, and we're actually gonna be using that as our lip color. I have a friend, Molly, who I saw use this as a lip color, and it was super beautiful on her. And just to give us like a good tie in from the cheek to the lip, I want to use this and give more of that like monochromatic vibe. See how beautiful that is? It's like just such a beautiful, like peachy nude with that good amount of warmth. I'm gonna go get dressed and then we'll be back to give our final thoughts. This is our final makeup look using a full face of Haus Labs. Let's go item by item and give our final thoughts. The Triclone Skin Foundation I have here in shade 40. I also have the white shade. I use that to balance out depending on where my skin tone is at through the year. I love this foundation. It is super hydrating, really beautiful coverage, really long wear. This is what I was using for a lot of my makeup clients for quite some time. I enjoy the way it wears on my skin. I do feel like shade 40 is an okay match for me. Triclone Skin Tech Concealer. This is the second or third one that I've gone through. I really enjoy this. I like the applicator. I really like the formula. I love how it looks in the under eye. It builds really beautifully. It wears really well without being super textured, and it is one that I will continue to use. Bio Blurring Loose Powder. I felt like did a really good job with setting down. I used it all along my jawline with a puff under the eyes, through the center of the face, and dusted everywhere else. I feel like this did do a good job in setting the makeup. I wish that there was a even lighter shade. I know that this is supposed to be translucent, but I wish that there was a translucent fair. This one does have a little bit of a color to it, but it set my makeup really well. Color Fuse Glassy Blush Balm. This is the shade Glassy Ginger. I did use it as a cream bronzer. I also used it as our lip color today. Really beautiful, really, really blendable. I do wish that it was slightly less dewy, but that's just a me personal preference. Power Sculpt Velvet Bronzer. I do really like. I've used this many times before. Good amount of color, really easy to work with. Like I said earlier, one of the Sigma setting brushes with just a light hand and was really able to diffuse that through the face without it being super heavy or patchy. I like that it's super easy blendable. This is the one that I would definitely recommend. For highlighting, I did use the highlighting balm and also the gel powder highlight. I do really like both of these. If I was to pick one of them, I personally would go more towards the peach glaze. The balm looked really nice on top of the foundation, but I did like the impact of the powder more personally. For eyeshadow, I am a really big fan of these eye library palettes. I used this shade here, and then in this other palette, I used all three of these mattes, this shimmer and this shimmer. I think these are a really beautiful formula. I'm excited for them to expand and come out with more palettes. I think that this would definitely be a big seller for them. High Power Pigment Paints I did use in the inner corner under that shimmer. These are really beautiful. These I would recommend to anyone. I kept these in my professional kit for a really long time. I like that you can use these kind of as a multi-use. They work really beautiful as eyeshadow. They work really, really well as liner. I've used these a lot as liner. I'm really excited to try these as a graphic liner and see how that would work. But for a regular liner or a shadow base, these are super, super beautiful. Le Monster Lip Crayon. I have this in I think 5 or 6 shades. I love the formula of this. I really liked mixing this with that blush balm. I feel like this peachy neutral is a really great tone. I feel like it's really hydrating, but I don't feel like it's gonna go anywhere. My lips look nice and smooth. It's not enhancing any texture. It also doesn't feel gummy or gunky, which is really great. The Be Structural Mascara I do have on my bottom lashes here, so you can see I have it on my top lashes under my falsies. Really good volume. It wasn't clumpy. I'm really excited to see how this wears. This is my first day wearing it. I'll be wearing it all day, and I will let you know in the description below how the removal process works, but I feel like it worked really well. It definitely made my lashes look nice and full. It also gave them that good length and it made them really, really black. I like that because I don't like there to be a gap between my lashes and the falsies, so I feel like that worked really well. Thank you so much for watching another full face makeup tutorial featuring Haus Labs. Please let me know what brands you'd like to see next in the comments below, and I will see you next time. Bye, divas.